Hello, I am currently wearing the only modern piece of merch I own, Max Futurals merch, Grace.
And I got 2 fucking boyfriends. One of them I'm married to, you gotta guess. And welcome to this episode of CatF1sh.
Oh my god.
Today, we will be talking about the lovely TikTok. And this is gonna be a 2-parter.
Oh yeah.
So, no, this week and next week, same topic.
The tic-tac.
Tic-tac-toe.
Tickety-tackies.
Specifically, we're talking about F1 TikTok, of course.
Oh, yes.
What else? But we figured we would start out by saying a couple things about ourselves on TikTok. And how we started, what we post about, things like that. So, Grace, if you...
Yeah, I'm on TikTok at GraceB. I have gained a decent following on TikTok, but I actually didn't have TikTok. When did it come out? 2018?
Okay.
Like,
I have no idea when it came out.
2018, I think.
It was Musical.ly and then TikTok.
Either way, I was not on Musical.ly ever, and I wasn't on TikTok for the longest time. I downloaded TikTok in December of 2020 because one of my good friends from high school would not leave me alone about it. She was like, you have to be on TikTok, you have to be on TikTok. So I get on TikTok and I started making kind of at first general videos, and then I started doing F1 videos, and I found that I enjoyed it, and I liked kind of the short form content of it, and the fact that I could like manage making TikTok videos while also doing everything else in my life that I like to do. So, and here I am now, TikTok famous.
Oh gosh. And I guess I will actually have my TikTok brought up in front of me just so I can reference it. But I was kind of in the same boat where I didn't download it right away, and I was adamant on not getting it because I'm like, oh, it's garbage, it's trash, whatever. And then it's like not even last year, 2 years ago, 2019, like that December I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really use it to like post content at all. I made like a couple like here and there, but that was about it. Right. Didn't get a lot of views, but it was just for fun. And then I got my summer job last year, and TikTok ended up becoming a really fun way to just de-stress after work, because I worked like long hours, 7 days a week kind of thing, and it just felt good to go on there and post content and talk with people about things that I like and make other people laugh. Because that's like one major thing that I love about TikTok, is I'm able to not only relate to people and talk to people about interests that I like, but I also love to make people laugh and to bring smiles to people's faces. So that's just, that's kind of why I still post things.
Yeah.
And people like it. So it's pretty rewarding.
I've been really enjoying using it as a platform. On like Twitter, I get kind of fairly opinionated, but on my TikTok, I try and be a lot more just good vibes. I really like want people to feel good stepping away from seeing one of my videos, and also like I can use it as a way to promote kind of a message of being more inclusive and tolerant within the Formula One motorsport community, because it's a huge issue, and I've just been enjoying it as a way for me to be both an activist as a queer person, but then also an ally to other members of kind of marginalized communities within the Formula One fan base.
I told you this before. That's one thing that I really admire about what Grace posts on TikTok, because she's so inclusive and just talks about real issues and is vocal and is so supportive, and so yeah. That's what I love about her. But like for me, it's more of like a creative outlet for me. I just a lot of makeup stuff. So occasionally like the funny video here and there, but also the occasional art video and stuff like that. And like edits. So
we both I mean, you know, I have the utmost respect for you as an artist and like support all your creative endeavors 24/7.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. And I was just thinking about this before we started. If it were not for TikTok, me and Grace would not be here right now. Nope. I don't think we would be friends.
No.
I wouldn't even know that Grace would have existed. So we can thank TikTok for the dynamic duo that we are.
It was TikTok, and then Yaya, who's a mutual friend of ours, a very close friend, dragged me onto Twitter too, which is where
God bless her for that.
God bless them. They're just
love her.
They're such a little angel. I love them. Yeah, we wanted to start out talking about kind of the positives of Formula One TikTok, because there absolutely are negatives to it and things that are worthy of being criticized, but I think sometimes people get so honed in on those negatives that they throw out kind of the more redeeming qualities of it and the things that are literally the reason I'm still on it. Like,
exactly.
I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't finding reward from it.
Yeah, that was because both me and Grace put out tweets that are like, hey, tell us what you think of F1 TikTok, positive, negatives, whatever you want, so we could get more input from people we know and you guys. And someone pointed that out. They're like, a lot of the time when it comes to F1 TikTok and just TikTok in general, it's always about the negatives. It's always about like the problems that end up arising or that people have with what is being posted or what is trending. But there is a fair share of really good content, and like Grace said, that's the reason why we're still on it, because it has a lot of positives that don't necessarily get the attention that it deserves.
Yeah, I'm looking for the tweet that I posted that people responded to. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't want to discredit the fact that it totally does deserve critique. There is a lot of sides to it that you all will find out in the second episode that I personally do not agree with at all. But we will get there. But we're gonna start out this week with the positives, because kindness. I don't know.
We like being kind.
We like being nice. So I have the talking threads right up in front of me. Starting off, Val said, a lot of F1 TikToks are super creative, well thought out, and you can see how much work went into it and how much love the creator has for the sport. I see this the most with edits. Like, I look at some edits and I think to myself, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like, for real. Like, I've never made one personally, but like, I can't imagine there's something that you get done in 30 minutes. And so like, I look at those and I think they're super cool, personally. And I just have a hard time seeing the negative of edits. I know that sometimes some people on Twitter will be like, that kind of like a culture of appreciation is like ruining the sport. And I'm like, I don't really see the problem with it. What I see is people expressing it in their own way, and that's kind of an approach on cinematography.
Yeah, I agree. And like, I personally make some. A lot of mine, there's like two types. I feel like there's like the fan cam version where it's usually it's made for Twitter. It's made for like just putting out there randomly, throwing it out. And it's usually just a quick 15-second video with music and quick. What I like to do for mine is I like to do it. I don't want to say I put more effort into it because, like, trust me, the timing and like getting audio and getting clips and just getting all that together to form it into a video, no matter how short or long it is, it takes a lot of work.
Right.
And so it's a creative process, and we all do it a little differently. But like with the ones that I posted specifically on TikTok, I usually try to like at least make a story behind it, or at least make it interesting and fun to look at. Some of them are quick, some of them are like took me super long, but like I feel like everybody who makes them just has a different approach, but also like just makes them because they're fun to make and they're super cool. And yeah, they're like one thing that I think is like I really enjoy because of how creative people can get with them. And just they're super creative and super fun to watch and make, and
yeah. Well, and I feel like the other side of it is like, I don't know, personally I feel like if I were a driver and I were to see like some of the ones that I've seen on Twitter and TikTok, I would just be flattered. I would be like, oh my gosh, you made that for me? Like, that's so cool. Like, I just have a hard time kind of seeing the negative in terms of edits and fan cam. Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, and that was kind of a general consensus, and a lot of the responses I think we both got was people being like, there's so much room for creativity, and that's so cool.
Yeah.
Because you're working with this media format that doesn't exist in the same way on Twitter.
No.
Like, TikTok is a short form video app platform, and so it's very different to Twitter, and I think promotes creativity in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I agree. Next, Benjamin said, my favorite, the guy that throws a necklace on the floor and makes a better racetrack than Yes Marina. I should say that differently, but I don't remember who that is, but I love that.
I looked at that and I was like, I've never seen that video, and now I want to.
Oh my god, I can't remember what his... I'm pretty sure it's a he. I can't remember what their @ is, but they always pop up. Well, I haven't seen them recently, but they used to pop up on my For You page, like, every so often. It was so... God, I loved them. It was so cool.
I had never seen that one. I mean, it totally made me laugh, and I was like, I believe it 100%, but I had never seen that before, and I was like, wait, that's actually kind of hilarious.
Yeah. And that's, like, one thing, like... That's one also thing that, like, stems to, like, the creativity thing. Like, you can literally post about anything. As long as it's fun, as long as, like, it doesn't have to be so serious. Like, I mean, it's just people having fun.
I am a shining example of creative. That. I posted a video literally of me just standing in front of my mirror going, IndyCar driver Marco Andretti just blocked me, and I got 45,000 views.
I'm the same thing, because I mean, I got blocked by him too.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, hello?
It's like, always like the silliest stuff that goes just completely off the rails.
It's the ones where I like didn't put much thought into it. I kind of just whipped out my phone and started recording. That often do the best for me. Which I think just means that like my natural energy is what people are looking for. My aura.
It's their personality that
shines.
You're
I mean, it's definitely not my face, so.
No, don't say that about yourself. You are gorgeous. How dare you?
I do not appreciate this slander.
Mean slander. You're slandering yourself. I'm saying you're pretty.
You're pretty.
No, stop it.
You're so pretty.
No.
You're so pretty. Anyway, this has been a sudden turn for Sari and I to compliment each other.
Oh, God. Anyways.
We're in love. Beatrice, my favorite thing has to be finding so many amazing people who share the same passion as me and them making amazing content, which makes my day. Yeah. Like, every single friend I have made in Formula One has been through TikTok or Twitter. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't have any friends who were also interested in Formula One if it weren't for TikTok. It would literally just be me and my uncle.
Honestly, before I joined social media and was active both on Twitter and on TikTok, I literally had one friend who I made in my college classes, and he just so happened to like Formula One. So that was just by chance. So without social media, I would literally be so lonely. So yeah, and I've met so many nice people on TikTok who are just from around the world, and we all just have the same interest. We're passionate about it and we love it, and it's so cool. And I'm telling my mom that, she's like, "You are friends with who?" She's like, "You are friends with people on the internet?" I'm like, "I'm 21 now, Mom. You calm down." But it's yeah, that's one cool thing about being active on these platforms, is that you do get to make friends with people around the world, and they are really cool people. And it's just you're not alone in liking this thing, even though it for me, living in the US and specifically living in Wisconsin, racing isn't really a big deal. Formula One isn't really a common thing to be talked about here or liked. So being able to connect with people online is so rewarding and important for me.
Yeah, well, and I actually have had kind of this funny experience in that I started college this year in the middle of the pandemic, going to university, and I have never been on my university's campus. I've never stepped foot on it because we've done the whole thing online. And so what has happened to me is kind of this funny twist of events where instead of making friends in the dorm freshman year of college, I've just made a ton of internet friends. Which honestly, I was talking to my aunt and uncle live in the city as well, and I spend a fair amount of time with them. And I was talking to them about it the other day. I was like, it's been so nice because I literally would have been so lonely because I'm in the city alone and I can't go out and meet people because of the pandemic. And so the online community around Formula One has enabled me to make friends and to have a small bit of a social life. Even if it's totally online, I can still FaceTime you and talk to you and know that there are human beings on the other side who do consider me their friend in the same way I consider them my friend. And that's been so nice and kind of a saving grace for me.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I did join and get onto F1, just F1 across all platforms, getting onto Twitter and getting onto TikTok, because it was actually around the start of the pandemic and quarantine. I was I live in an apartment now, but I used to live in a house, and being there by myself was so fucking lonely, and I didn't want to put my family at risk, so I did stay a couple extra weeks before, making sure that I was okay, they were okay, and then I traveled home. But during that time, I was so lonely, and I couldn't go out, I couldn't see people, and even now, there's only one person I really see in visit, other than my roommate, and we just hang out whenever we feel good, we make sure like we're safe and, you know, get tested every once in a while. But it's like, yeah, the amount of people that I see on a daily basis could be counted on one hand, and it's one person. Like, I only really interact with one person on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So to be able to utilize the internet to connect with people, not even just like people in like just randomly, but to connect specifically with people who have similar interests and who I can relate to and have engaging conversations with, is so rewarding, and one thing that I will always love and appreciate no matter what.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And like, I'm an essential worker. I work in the hospitals, and like, my job is super hard on a normal, like, plane of existence, and then you factor in a severe pandemic, and like, it goes from somehow really difficult to just like absolutely soul crushing. And having TikTok and having a community of people who I know are there for me has been a great outlet. And like, because I can come home from the hospital and I can set up my phone and I can make this silly, ridiculous video that makes me laugh because I am my target audience, and then makes other people laugh, which is nice. Yeah, that's how I feel. Someone else made a great point that I wanted to touch on. Gray said, it's mostly younger fans, and there's a lot of good content. And somebody else responded to one of my tweets. I am totally going to butcher some people's names, and I'm so, so sorry, but I am very American Midwest. But it would be Matato? Oh, golly. Total cringe, not for me. But anything that gets a younger generation of fans to engage is a good thing. And I totally agree with this. I think like the age average on TikTok is younger than that of other platforms. And yeah. I know this because like I interact with people who are significantly younger than me, like 4 or 5 years younger than me. And it is really nice to see young people get to be passionate about it in a space. And I think it does kind of pull more people in and gets a new generation involved.
Yeah. Speaking on that, I forget his name. Again, I'm really bad with usernames and just names in general. But he is, he's an older guy who follows my TikTok and he comments every once in a while. He's really good at like being, I appreciate him because he has that other perspective of being a fan for a long time and, you know, seeing all of these drivers over generations and different eras. And he commented on one of my TikToks one time and he's like, I don't know. Like, I'm not here. Like, I don't understand the jokes, and that's okay. I don't get a lot of the humor that I see on TikTok. That's fine, because all I'm seeing is a lot of younger fans coming in and having fun and enjoying this sport. And I think that's the most important thing. And he's like, just continue being you and enjoying it and having fun. And he said that, and I was like, oh my God, you are everything that's right in this world. Thank you.
That's so sweet.
But I just feel like there needs to be more of that energy, especially with like older fans seeing and viewing incoming younger fans. Like, yeah, we are a little different. We are a little weird, and like our humor is kind of like juxtaposition compared to yours. But that's okay.
Well, that's and like sorry.
to be embraced by older fans is something I have yet to like really see as like the mass movement, and it's something that I think this sport could just benefit from.
Absolutely. I think sometimes people are like resistant to that because they're like, oh, I'm not that old. And like, sure, maybe you're not that old, but there's still a generational difference. I mean, I'm not even even the legal US drinking age, and I can still see a difference between me and the like 14, 15-year-olds I interact with. Like, they make Roblox jokes, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. And
I thought I was young, and I'm 21, and I'm still like, I don't get what the fuck you're going on about. I love the energy, but I don't get it.
I don't understand it, and that's okay. It's okay to have some boomer energy sometimes. Just own it. Just be like, I don't get this joke, and that's okay, because you know what? I can go and make like a VeggieTales joke to somebody in the corner, to you, and you'll understand it, and that's fine. Yeah. Like, they're not gonna get that VeggieTales joke, but you will, so it's okay. Like, there's gonna be generational differences no matter what. That's literally just life. So own your kind of older person energy and love the younger people for who they are, and that's just different.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Some of them make Roblox jokes.
It's funny though, because actually I used to play Roblox. I didn't realize it was still popular or had popularity. So I'm really like, it's changed a lot since I played it as a kid.
The kids I babysat in high school played Roblox, and I didn't understand it then, and I don't understand it now.
Oh God.
I'm like, I remember I asked one of the boys, I was like, is this like your kind of Webkins? And he goes, what's that? And I was like, no, I can't have this conversation with a 7-year-old today.
I love Webkins. The fact that, honestly though, I can still go on Webkins and I can still log into my account, so.
Oh, I can't.
I do it occasionally.
My Webkins account is long gone. R.I.P.
Oh, God. But some other things that I saw mentioned, and this I just thought of as well. Someone mentioned that they see a lot of female content creators and fans as well, highlighted on TikTok specifically, and I love that.
Yes.
Like, I personally, a lot of the F1 pages that I follow are females and women.
Yeah.
And I honestly, got some good content, and I wish I won't get too meh, but for the flack that women get for liking F1, it's just, it hurts, and I don't like it. And we'll probably bring this up. I think, have we talked about this before? No.
Shit women get for being fans?
Yeah, have we?
No.
Anyways.
But we will.
We will deep dive on that. Yeah, like, God, the amount of times I've seen someone say, like, oh, you only like the drivers because they're hot. You don't even actually you only watch it because blah, 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 BTS, this and that, and the other thing. And I'm like, oh my God, who was it? This is going to be so, oh my God, I'm kids right now. I think his name is Wilbur. During one of those, like, Minecraft streams, he was like, name one thing that a girl can like and not be judged for it.
Yeah.
And not be really
You can't.
For it. And there is nothing. There is literally nothing.
It literally is.
Like makeup. Women liking makeup. Oh, you put on makeup to impress boys. You wanna, like, you hate how you look. I'm like, you think I love how I look. How dare you say that about me?
I know.
I didn't spend fucking 3 hours on an eye look just to impress a guy. Because trust me, they don't understand anything that goes into this. They don't understand any of the makeup looks I have posted.
No.
I doubt a single driver that I have based a makeup look on understands what the fuck I'm doing.
No.
They're like, okay, that's cool, but like they don't get it. I'm fairly positive. So I just look at those comments and I'm like, ugh.
There's this kind of weird thing, and I consider it to be a global thing, where anything that teen girls like, it's cool to hate.
Mm-hmm.
You can like take the biggest example of this, Twilight. Sure, okay, yeah, Twilight has some like problematic themes and tropes, but like at the end of the day, who was it hurting? No one. And yet, like, it was cool to just vehemently hate Twilight and shit on anyone who liked it. And I think people saw that, like, the people who were expressing the most interest in Drive to Survive were kind of younger people. and it was bringing in a lot of new fans who were younger people, and so they were like, oh, I hate this. I'm like, that's just... Do you know who loves Drive to Survive? My grandpa. Like, my grandpa loves Drive to Survive more than I do. And, like, no one would say that to him because it's become synonymous with younger woman / teen girl. And I just think that that's total bullshit.
I agree. Now, we could go in on that and just the hypocrisy and just the pushback of having women in this community is so just mind-boggling. It deserves its own episode and conversation.
It really does.
But moving on, another point I saw someone made was that anybody can create content. And we've kind of just like alluded that in general, but that's one thing. Like, you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to have like a huge platform. You don't have to do this or that other thing. Anybody can make content on TikTok and gain a following or interact with people or make just content that they think is funny and they think is entertaining. Like, anybody can do it.
Right.
And that's, I think, something that could be taken for granted about TikTok, because like on Twitter it's different because like finding a group of friends on Twitter, I feel like, is a little more daunting of a task.
Yes.
And a lot harder. Because I remember when I first made a Twitter account, I was like, can I just interact with people? Like, I don't want to push into like their business or anything. But on TikTok, it's so easy to just like comment something, get a follow back, and then all of a sudden you're like messaging each other back and forth and like sending stupid meme shit on videos. And so like I think that's one thing, is like anybody can create it, and it's so easy to just, once you find people, to just connect with them and continue to like follow them and interact. And
I think it's like more accessible than other kind of methods of creating kind of media. Like, it's setting up a YouTube channel can often feel like a whole task because you're like, I gotta get a camera, like I need to get a video editing software, like all of this. Whereas with a TikTok, it literally is just, all you need is your phone.
Yeah.
And like it is so user friendly, and like, I mean, I don't want to completely say that, because like TikTok does have some problems with being a little not accessible for disabled people. But like, it's definitely a more feasible kind of way of expressing a love for motorsport than a YouTube channel per se. And like, it's more creative than Twitter. So
it's like what someone made this really good comparison. I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's what YouTube used to be, like in the early days. Short form content that is quick, accessible, and just super like consumable. It's easy to consume, and it's easy to just scroll through for hours and hours, which is kind of a problem. But it's very consumable, and it's easy, and it's fun.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. One. That's such a good point. I was thinking about like the videos I grew up watching, like Smosh and stuff. Like, they were just little 5-7 minute bite. Nowadays, considered like a bite-sized video, because like you have people putting full-on movie feature length videos on YouTube. Like,
there's always the 10-minute mark that everybody has to hit in order to get ads.
Ad
like
roll. Oh my goodness, where did my... There it is. Alright. Yeah, I mean, it's... Someone made an interesting point, though. Jose said, there's a huge duality. Content is either gold or cringy. There's no middle term.
That's true, but sometimes the cringy content is also just pure gold. Because
that's what I was gonna say. I was like,
me and Grace, this will expose us a little bit, but we find cringy content and we'll just send it to one another just to laugh about. Like, it might be cringy and it might be horrible, but it still made me laugh, so there's that to it.
I mean, part of me wants to disagree with it and be like, no, there totally is a middle ground. And then the other side of me is like, oh, but is there?
There's like very
people,
not often is there a middle ground. There is a middle ground, just it's rare.
It's rare. I mean, like, well, because there's so many different ways that people take it. Like, you have people like Tommy from CatF1sh who does, like, he'll make, like, those short kind of clips of him making a cool livery or a helmet design, and, like, you have that kind of stuff. And then you have you, and you come in with these, like, awesome makeup, like, looks, and, like, super, super cool to see. And then you have kind of the skits that people like to do. And then you have the people who do, like, informational style. Like, I think Luke Howick is a great example of this. He's, like, a young British guy. He's, like, my age. I think he's, like, 18. And he just does, like, he's sitting at his desk, and he kind of breaks through recent news points. And, like, he'll give, like, his opinion at the end and then, like, ask what other people's opinions are. But he does very, like, informative stuff. And, like, you just have this, like, huge kind of rainbow of all of these different kinds of content that I just think is, I don't know, I think it's really cool. And I like that I can see such a versatility on my, like, page and see so many different people doing so many different things.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you know what? Some people are going to prefer the, like, informational videos, and they're going to be like, what the fuck is this girl doing with her face? Like, that's one thing that's cool about F1 TikTok, is that there's a reason why not all the content is, like, it's not made for everybody, because we all have different interests, and that's okay. And so there are, like, little niches that you can find that have, like, people posting about it and talking about it, and that's really cool, because then you can, like, personally, like, customize, like, your feed and what you see coming through. And so that's one thing, like, it is very diverse, and there are things that I'm like, what is going on here that I don't necessarily like, but they're, like, people do like it, and they do find it interesting, and it is very consumable for them, and that's really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, there's someone out there for everyone. Like, there are people who are gonna, like, love Owen from Drag Dead 12, who likely, actually probably, will not like what I do. And that's totally fine, because they can follow and interact with Owen and, like, all the cool sim racing stuff he does, and then I can be off on my side doing my kind of, like, unhinged content, and, like, I have the people who like what I do, and that, like, you know, of course there's going to be, like, an overlap of people who like both, and, like, that's totally cool, but, like, there's a niche for everyone.
Exactly. And, you know, there weren't many people, I didn't find many people on F1 TikTok who did makeup videos. I do follow one girl who she's just, I love her. But I was like, the cool thing is like, if you can't find a niche, or you find just a couple of people who do it, that, like, you can jump in and you can do it yourself.
Right.
Like, there's room for growth, there's room for just more people. And I did start doing that, and I did start, like, posting makeup videos based off of this and that and the other thing, and people liked it. And it's like, oh, cool, there is a niche for this.
People go feral for your eye looks. I go feral for your eye looks. I lose my mind. I remember one time you posted a selfie to Twitter of you. I don't even remember which look it was, but you posted a selfie to Twitter of you wearing a new look, and I immediately went to your TikTok to see if you'd posted a video. You hadn't yet, but I was like, oh my gosh! I was very excited. I get very excited.
That makes me really happy. Okay. My face hurts.
Good. You should feel joy. And I think it just, on that same vein, I think it kind of has, I think this ability for people to express their love for F1 within themselves and how they perceive it has created a way for it to be this less elite kind of quote unquote feeling thing. I think it has allowed it to feel more approachable to others. And I speak from a very personal experience. I got this DM once from this woman who DM'd me and said, I haven't watched F1 in years, but you popped up on my For You page one day, and I started following you, and seeing how much you loved it inspired me to start watching again in the new season.
Love that.
And I cried. I was like, oh my God. But like, I was so touched and so honored. But, you know, I think that is a really cool thing that TikTok has done. It's made it seem more approachable because we have more voices coming in from women and POC and LGBTQIA plus people, that it has begun to feel more approachable for some people.
Yeah. And I think by just like more and more people of diverse backgrounds, just anybody, being able to come on to TikTok and being able to create a community that grows and it pops up onto like anybody's For You page. And like you said, it makes it more approachable, and it makes it so that we are able to grow and that new fans do continue to come in every day. And it's so fun to see that as well.
Cool.
And like just even in general, I mean, F1 has their own TikTok page, and those videos pretty often trend. And just to see like people who don't even know what F1 is have that come up to their For You page because it's funny or it's like something really cool or cute, and like, yes,
yeah,
this is exactly what we need.
Well, and like, new fans are really at the end of the day just going to benefit the sport because they're going to bring in more money. They're going to bring in more viewers, more money. Like, all they're going to do is help it. And this is coming from somebody who has unfortunately had to witness the slow and painful decline of NASCAR for her life. Like, you don't... I look at some of these more like European people on Twitter sometimes, and I'm like, you don't know how it feels.
You don't get it.
You don't get it. Like, NASCAR has been on a downward spiral since the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, it's still like, it's not going under, but it's not the way it was. Like, and I don't have to have kind of that same anxiety about Formula One in the way I do about NASCAR of like, how much longer is NASCAR going to make it? Like, I don't have to feel that way about Formula One because it still is going as strong as it is, but even then, new fans are going to do nothing but benefit it.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know if we might have mentioned this in a previous episode, but I know I've talked about it before, both on TikTok and just on Twitter, rambling as I do, but the whole point of DTS was to bring in new fans and to get Formula One's name out there. It was a way to combat the decline in views that they were seeing, in attendance, this and that, and it did its job.
Yeah.
Drive to Survive did its job, and it's still doing its job, because while it might not be the most factual thing, it brings in the views because it's dramatic and it's great storytelling. Might not be the most accurate storytelling, but it's great storytelling.
I mean, it's reality TV. Like, at the end of the day.
Exactly.
It's reality TV. Of course, it's not like the most true to form thing. Do you know why? Because that would be boring. Like,
to be honest, though, I feel like they might not have to be as dramatic this season for 2020 because,
I don't think they will be.
That was dramatic.
But like,
they're like, look, copy paste, put it in.
If they didn't do any editing like in the first 2 seasons and just like plopped a camera down on all the meetings and just hit record and didn't do anything, like, that would be so boring. Like, that's not the point of TV. The point of TV is to tell a story, is to get people invested and involved. And when you're trying to appeal to a market that hasn't seen Formula One, you have to hook them in with a story because they don't understand the history and the dynamics yet. They will get there, but they don't understand it yet. So you gotta hook them in with something, and there's nothing the human race loves more than a good story.
If there's one thing I know about America, because I live here, we love reality TV.
We love reality TV. As a devoted watcher of the Real Housewives franchise, I can tell you that reality TV gets worse.
As someone who's seen several seasons of The Bachelor and Bachelorette, let me tell you, we love reality TV.
Love reality TV. I do love The Bachelor and Bachelorette. I am in many ways trash, and I'm okay with that.
I agree. Me too.
Accepted it.
There was a point. I had a point that popped into my brain. Now I can't remember it. Oh, I got it. So, if we rewind back to episode 1, how I said I got back into Formula One after not watching it since a little kid. That was me. I was the person who saw, I had my, limited knowledge from childhood about, what I knew of Formula One and, who I could remember who was racing back then. But I was just like every other, new fan was like, oh my god, this is so cool. I need to learn more about this. And so then I did start learning more about it. And I just learned new things every single day. And I posted a TikTok recently that kind of highlighted that. And I got so many cool recommendations for things to check out. And just oh, there's this YouTuber you should check out. Oh, go to this website. This blog is really cool. This person, follow this person. They post really informative TikToks. And I'm I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
That not only are, fans themselves, coming in fresh, new, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, wanting to learn and being interested in it. There's also, people willing to help and willing to give resources and, directing, being hey, that's really cool, but actually, it was this person who did this thing, and, correcting knowledge and just being, kind. Yeah. And doing it kindly and, respectfully as well is really appreciated, too. And that I really enjoy just being able to do that.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the other thing of when I see younger people who maybe, because I'm a huge history nerd, I always have been, and so part of my love for Formula One is people make fun of me because I have an obsession with the Las Vegas Grand Prix, but I don't know how to explain to people that obsession goes deeper than I think most people realize, and that I am just obsessed with the history of Formula One, and I have this YouTube playlist where I've put every single full race that I have found, because you can access a lot of them on F1 TV, but that isn't an acceptable not everybody, it's not available to everyone. YouTube more so is, though. And so I have this, maybe I'll put it in the description of this episode when we post it, because I love the history. And when I see people who don't know as much, I don't get oh, I'm better than you. I don't think I'm mightier or better than them. I'm always just oh my gosh, you should learn about this thing. It's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely see that a lot on Twitter.
Yeah.
Where people are get high and mighty because they know more than you. They try to correct you and make you look like an idiot. And I'm yeah, I am a fucking idiot. How about instead of being an asshole, you teach me about it?
Right.
Or correct me in a respectful way. Because I am just learning about it. I am still digging around, learning how the cars have evolved, or learning about a specific race or a specific driver. I got the big names down. But it's the small little details where I'm I need to search around, dig around.
Yeah. So
instead of being an asshole, maybe just be helpful. Be kind.
I've dealt with a lot of BS from people being you probably don't know anything about the races in the 90s. And I'm don't even try me. I'm a 4.0 student with an obsessive personality. I can promise you I've learned every detail I could. Don't talk to me.
Oh god.
I will lose it. One time I posted this TikTok where I broke down the type of barrier that they use in NASCAR, which is safer, steel and energy foam reduction barrier. Wait, no. Oh yeah, steel and foam energy reduction barrier. I got too excited. I talked too fast. And somebody tried to fact check me and say like, they actually use TechPro, but they like function the exact same. And I remember I stared at that comment for like a good 15 minutes because I was like, no, they don't. Like, NASCAR uses safer. Do you know who uses TechPro? Formula One and go-kart tracks. And they don't function the same. It's just, people will try and correct people even when they're wrong. And that's like the side of it that kills me.
Hurts. I see that sometimes in like comments on TikTok too. It's like someone will try to correct, and I'm like, you are actually wrong.
You're wrong.
You're embarrassing yourself. Like, and it's always, this comment has been deleted. Which I love.
I mean, yeah, but all in all, there are some really great sides to TikTok, and I'm very happy to be on it, and I found it to be very rewarding and awesome. And I can assure everyone the day I stop finding it to be that way, I will delete my account.
That or your, well, I mean, I will mention this because we were talking about it before we filmed. Grace has this thing where she's always concerned. She's like, well, actually, no, we both are like this.
Are you talking about my paranoia?
Yeah. I'll discuss about this. She's paranoid at who sees her TikTok. And I am too, because like for a while there, under the Team Quadrant hashtag, I was the second and third face that you saw under that before Arab started posting more with that tag. But I want you guys to understand that it is very likely that an F4, F2, F3 driver has seen your TikToks. If they just go randomly, like, I don't mean to insult them, but I think most of them are on straight TikTok, which sucks for them.
The F1 drivers?
Oh yeah.
If any of them are on TikTok, they're on straight TikTok. I have no shame saying that.
They're on straight. They got boring shit popping up on their For You page. But you don't think they like search up their own names?
I feel like
occasionally like an F1 like themed TikTok, like obviously they do. So the likelihood that they have seen your face or they've seen your content, highly likely. And we know that Alex Albon has a fucking account. Do we know what his ad is? No, because he's like undercover on there, which he deserves his privacy. And like Lando said that he's been on it, they're all like privately digging around on there, just having fun, doing their thing, as they should. But yeah, they probably have seen it. I just want to let you know that.
That fact keeps me awake at night.
I think it's great.
Because
no, here's the thing. Specifically, I had a lot of people. I posted my Callum. I recreated Callum's helmet under my eyes, and a lot of people tagged Callum in it, which I feel bad about. But I'm also like, he probably did see it.
Oh yeah.
And he probably looked at the whole video, and he was probably like, "Oh, that's really cool," but I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, but I mean.
And that's okay. I think like most of the time, I'm like, I don't know if they necessarily know what's going on, but that's cool. But like, yeah, they probably have seen your face, and they probably have seen your content. But that's okay. They probably seen your fucking tweets too. Like, this is the internet. They aren't just like, if they saw your tweets, that'd be really funny.
I hope not.
This is the internet. This is not private. You are posting on my.
They all have burner accounts and they've seen my tweets. That actually is. Okay, listen, I said this to Sari before we started recording. I was like, it fills me with existential dread to know that some of these people have likely seen my videos about them, but at the same time, I know I would say all of it to their faces. So I kind of don't give a shit. It just makes me anxious.
I don't know. I feel like it makes me anxious, but at the same time, I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't have posted it if I didn't like
right.
it.
I mean, like, I've argued with police officers. I feel like Formula One drivers would kind of be a walk in the park. I've argued with men holding guns. Like, I can't. And won.
They got nothing. They got nothing on this. I'll fight them.
I've been arrested. They can't come for me.
Well, I've never been arrested.
Anyway, to finish off with that terrifying thought.
You're welcome, everybody.
We're going to wrap up this episode here. We will see you all next week for part 2, where we talk about kind of the more negative sides of Formula One TikTok and give our critiques as people who are on it fairly frequently. And yeah, we hope you all enjoyed this episode, and we love you so much.
Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna pause, stop that recording.